And yeah, that's a third rip and tear. Let's do it. Yeah, let's take those explosive shells. Boom, boom. Look at that, boom. Can our mole ninja do it? Has our mole ninja mastered the ninjutsu? Good morning, good evening, and of course, a good afternoon. Today, we're going to be role-playing a mole ninja as we go ahead and run around with shurikens, slicing and dicing and puncturing our alien enemies with reckless abandon. Today, we're going to be attempting to break open the rip and tear item using the shuriken because I do think they have a lot of synergies in common. And to do so, we will be playing the loud character to give us the strongest possible start. Early on, really am looking for crit chance. I do not see it though, and I don't really want to reroll again, but all those are quite poor, so we'll go ahead and take that melee damage. So a bit more aggressive rerolling there, and I ordinarily do prefer on the first shot. That said, it is what it is, and we will rebound accordingly. Shurikens are a really interesting weapon in Brotato because they act like ranged weapons, but they scale off of melee, so they're kind of like a hybrid ranged melee weapon of sorts. However, the most important stat when playing shurikens is that critical chance ability, as the shurikens do not bounce unless they crit, and if shurikens don't bounce, then we are in big trouble. Early on, it's really important to get these shurikens online. I am willing to reroll aggressively to do so. The shurikens do have that precise tag, meaning every extra shuriken we are holding means that we will get an additional plus 3% crit. And again, that is the most valuable stat when playing shuriken, simply because if your shurikens ain't critting and your shurikens aren't bouncing, well, one, you're a really ineffective mole ninja, but more importantly, you will quickly get overwhelmed on the map, even more so when playing loud, of course, which does spawn with an additional 50% more enemies. So we will certainly want to get those shurikens online as soon as possible. Early on, we'll take crit even at the expense of more valuable weapon upgrades, and I will take a touch of melee. And I do really like the claw tree on this character in particular, giving us both melee and crit chance, which is something that is very valuable. Now, rip and tear is a really powerful item and one of my favorites. However, it is typically something you play with melee weapons. Now, the advantage of these shurikens is they will be bouncing around and killing enemies all over the map. That means with rip and tear, we should be able to cause explosions all over the map and really just have a build that can absolutely demolish everything. The big problem with shurikens is they sometimes struggle with huge area clear. So if we're able to get some rip and tears to sort of cover that disadvantage, I think we'll have a really powerful build indeed. And something I'm excited to show off today. So let us pray to RNGesus and hope for many rip and tears. No piece will be even for free, and I will go ahead and take that melee damage to help scale that. And again, I don't really care about max HP, but at that value, I will not turn it down. Really do like a tree, and I do think attack speed can be relatively good with this style of build. You can see there that shuriken now bounces twice at blue, it bounces thrice at epic, and it bounces thrice at legendary. Is thrice actually a word meaning an additional 4 times? No, it is not, but it is the best I can come up with in short notice, so I hope you will bear with me in my terrible improv exercises. That said, feeling a lot better here with a couple of blue shurikens, as those additional bounces do make these shurikens significantly, and I mean significantly better, so getting these shurikens upgraded is of utmost importance. Shurikens are a relatively odd item in Brotato because they behave like melee weapons, or behave like ranged weapons, but they essentially scale with melee, so it is sort of an interesting item to play with. For free, I'll take a propeller hat, and we'll go ahead and grab that attack speed. I do think attack speed is somewhat valuable on this character. We'll go ahead and take a bag as well, and I am really happy to see another shuriken, pardon me, which should put S at all blue shurikens heading into wave 7. Now, shurikens do scale off melee damage, but they scale at a pretty low rate. We can see right here, 25% scaling, the upgrade to 34% of blue. That goes all the way up to 50% legendary scaling at, or 50% melee scaling at legendary. That's sort of an interesting number simply because in Brotato, melee tends to scale twice as fast as range, meaning that a legendary shuriken with 50% melee scaling kind of scales just like a normal range weapon, except you're clicking plus melee instead of plus range. So an interesting, sort of interesting connection there, which I am not surprised, I do not believe to be incidental. That's definitely intentional. However, if we're able to get that rip and tear online, I do think that will synergize very well and give us a really powerful build. And we are playing endless, so we'll be seeing how far we can go. Looking for somebody a little bit better there. Again, our crit chance is quite low, so I would like to get that up as soon as possible. A lot of really good things here. with already having a decent percent damage and our shurikens being relatively low base damage items, I will go ahead and take that upgrade instead. You know, even I just don't think the power generator is good enough just yet. I much prefer a gentle alien and a coffee, and we're really given a lot of gentle aliens, which is even more gentle aliens. I'll stick with 3. I do think gentle aliens can be good on this build, but this build is very much a top heavy build. As in, once it comes together, you got a bunch of epic legendary shurikens, you got a bunch of melee damage and crit. Shurikens are very, very powerful. However, they can get overwhelmed early. They are not a great starting weapon. So I do not necessarily want to get overwhelmed at the very beginning here. So we will go ahead and hang off that 4th gentle alien. But I will take a couple, you know, just to get more enemies on the map, give us a little more health, a little more damage, all that good stuff. So you can see so far we're doing an okay job of keeping the map clear. But again, this build can in fact get overwhelmed, and that, my friends, is not Mall Ninja approved, right? Like our Mall Ninja, you know, just rolled out of bed, had a couple taquitos, heading down the local community mall, right? Like they're buying their shurikens from Hot Topic or somewhere of that similar nature. So our Mall Ninja is not to be messed with, but they have a lot of growing up and taquitos to go. Early on, I guess we'll take the 12% damage again at that rate. Love the beanie. Don't think we need a recycling machine quite yet. But again, really like a mastery. These all scale off melee damage, so mastery, let's go. I do think a little bit of range isn't terrible in this character. Because my arm is being twisted, I will take a 4th gentle alien. Again, that might be somewhat risky, but you know, they keep throwing them at me, so I might as well keep taking them. But we will be, you know, later in the run taking all the gentle aliens that we possibly can. However, early on, you know, I'd like to get us on board. I feel like we're doing okay. Okay melee damage, okay crit, but we do feel maybe a little bit behind on the actual shurikens themselves. Would really like to be, you know, somewhere, have a couple purples by now, but beggars can't always be choosers. Even with Loud, this is a bit of a slower starting build, simply because, you know, these shurikens don't have great clear yet, but once we get them rocking and rolling, they will be very, very strong. It's just a bit of a slow starter, right? Don't be pushy. They're trying their best. They're trying to grow up, but you know, you don't become an elite Mall Ninja overnight. It takes a little bit of work. Are getting a little bit of value out of that bag as well. Getting almost 500 or 400 materials off this wave is quite good. We'll take that dynamite, and sure, for free, I'll take an alienized, and I guess I'll take the max HP. Couple okay things here. I guess I'll take the percent damage just because of the value upgrade, even though I don't really want it just yet. Heading in the wave 9, I will take that mouse. Happy to finally start getting some of these shurikens upgraded. Don't need those other items just yet. Really love a tentacle. That's one of the preeminent items on any crit weapon. Shurikens are no exception. Should not only boost our damage, boost our clear, but boost our health, which is very, very good. So that Shuriken will be critting all around the map, which will be healing us and, of course, increasing our crit chance as well. Notably, the Shuriken can crit multiple times throughout the bounce, so you do have multiple opportunities to heal off of that sort of bounce. So that is why tentacle is so good on this item. That said, we may be a little bit overwhelmed here. Again, we don't have insane clear. If we had something like community support, we would be okay. But with only 40% attack speed, you know, I think we'll be fine. I don't think we're going to die, especially with all our health. However, you know, we just don't have this build quite online to have awesome, massive clear yet. That problem we shall soon change, my dear friends. So you can see, like, our bounces are definitely helping us clear the map. We also are sort of falling behind and clearing the entire map. So we will leave more enemies on this sort of wave than I typically would prefer. But again, that's how the Mall Ninja do be. That is a weakness of shurikens in this game. A weapon which is typically really only played on Hunter. No little frog necessary. Again, we're not doing any range damage, and so we don't need a baby with a beard. I'll take the lumberjack shirt for free, and we'll go ahead and keep cranking that melee. And we'll go ahead and take that crit because I am so hungry for it. Again, really just getting gentle aliens poured on us here. So I guess we'll just try to make them work. Guess we'll try to take them work. I will take a preemptive plastic explosive. So the interaction between bandana and shurikens is a little bit odd. So we're going to go ahead and pass on that for now and keep rerolling here, looking for some better shurikens. Essentially, the shurikens will bounce if they crit. Sorry, just double checking there. So, you know, you do sometimes want to take them because sometimes they can pierce if they don't. Pierce. They will sometimes pierce if they do not crit. However, the interaction between crit and bounce is just a little bit odd. So we'll go ahead and pass on that bandana for now, although we may take one a little bit later. In the meantime, I'm going to do our best to sort of stay alive here, which we are able to do. Okay, you can see our crit getting up all right here. You can see we do have a much higher critical chance on the shurikens. So shurikens behave much like thief daggers, having a really, really good crit chance base. So we don't need to get to 100% crit in order to have maximum crit on the shurikens, which is nice and does make these weapons just a little bit more effective as we do, in fact, upgrade them. So you can see definitely getting overwhelmed here with all our gentle aliens, as well as all those, or that one mice we did pick up. So something to be concerned about, but we'll see if we can pull this one together. I will take a white flag as is unique. We'll take that Melko turret and don't want the missile. We're looking for attack speed or crit. Not seeing either one of those. Do see the crit here. We will take speed at that rarity. Really happy for a shuriken as well as a ritual. Somewhat tempted by a little muscly dude, but I will hold off for now. Take the adrenaline because it is unique. And again, we'll aggressively upgrade the shurikens by this tree, by that extra ritual, as I do eventually want to get some life steal online. So, you know, feeling decent about this. Our melee damage is definitely a little low, only 22. Would definitely like that to be a little higher, especially playing loud. And again, getting our attack speed up from 40, I think will be a priority, just so we can keep the map a little bit more clear than it would be. Again, so we have lots of these shurikens going out in the map, dealing great damage and doing all of that stuff. Something like a hunting trophy would definitely accelerate us from this point, but again, I do want to sort of focus this build around the Rippins here, which cannot crit, so I don't know how long-term that will be. That will definitely help us in endless mode, as it always does, but early on, I am very, very much more focused on that Rippins here, as I do take a little bit more damage than I would like there from those bruisers, but what can I say? You can only play mostly perfect. But running and dicing and throwing our shurikens here, just like we're out of a fresh anime or something of that nature, as we definitely maneuver through all the projectiles right through the middle of the map while picking up our projectiles, taking advantage of the small potato hitboxes in this game, as I ran by that looter there and was unable to take them out. No scope for us. Again, really do want to keep getting that crit chance up. You can see a 46% chance, 46% crit chance, or shuriken is at 87% crit. So that is something to be happy with. Really do like a sunglasses and like a shuriken. So these are now at 97% crit chance. I do like speed and range on this, so I'm not super unhappy with the wings. Love another tentacle. Love another tentacle. And we'll grab that bait heading into wave 13. In the meantime, we are fighting an elite here, and this is not the best elite killing build. It's not terrible. It doesn't kill the elites quick, but the advantage of shurikens, once you start getting them upgraded, as we are beginning to do here, is that you can essentially just focus on taking the boss out, and the shurikens will kind of bounce around and handle things a little more effectively. So you can see our little potato here is definitely a little bit more effective than they were a couple of waves ago. And that's just on the fact that we have maximum crit, which is part of the reason we passed on the bandana, is essentially when we're at this point in the game, you know, the shurikens will do all their bounces because we're at essentially 100% crit, and then they'll pierce at the very end. So it's not quite as good. Not to say I wouldn't pick like one up, because your shuriken can kind of poke an enemy at the end of the sort of bouncing path, but it's just not quite as necessary as it is maybe on some other builds. But you can see Mole Ninja coming together here. Our shurikens bouncing with reckless, and I mean reckless abandon. Wave 12, feeling just fine about this as we wrap up here together today. Do you like a giant spell? Again, not the best item, but definitely not an item I'm set with for free. And we'll take a little bit more melee damage. Do like a blindfold and a banner. These legendary, or sorry, these epic shurikens should be a 108% crit chance, as they are. We'll go ahead and take that bait. Somewhat tempted by a spicy sauce, but we'll pass for now. And I am looking, we'll go ahead and take this upgrade. It's not my favorite upgrade, but we will go ahead and take it. This is a much better upgrade. As you can see, we're now at 50% scaling with 4x bounces. That makes me happy, and it should make you happy too, as that should drastically improve our clear ability, as these shurikens will now bounce many more times before expiring from their flight path. So you can see doing a much better job now of keeping that clear. And that's just one of the keys of the shurikens, is they are such a weapon that is so dependent on getting them upgraded appropriately. If they are not at the right upgrades here, they just are not a good weapon. But once you start getting them upgraded, you know, you can have some fun with them, like we're going to do here today. As you can see, our red shurikens just blowing around the map. And you may recall earlier, we were definitely struggling keeping the map clear, whereas now we're doing a much better job of keeping the map empty, which is obviously important in Brotato, as an empty map means we have most and more materials than we would if we're leaving a bunch of enemies on the map. We do not want to leave enemies on the map in Brotato. It makes me sad. It should make you sad too, as that's all of that lovely loot and experience we could have had but did not. So woe is me. for the things we have lost, but we're back on track, so we will not worry about that. No compass for us, and love a community support like a dynamite as well. We're going to take a touch of speed, and I will actually take the 6 melee damage, although armor would be valuable as we are at -1. Love an extra stomach and an improved tools. At this point, I'm very much happy for mice because our sort of offense is online. Looking around here, we'll go ahead and buy this metal plate simply because, you know, we do want to get our armor positive eventually, so I am quite happy with that. But that giant spell is really helping us take these elites out, and I think we're going to be in a good spot here to sort of sail through the rest of the run. Of course, going to get a ton of value getting that extra stomach. We did find that relatively early in our journey, so that should provide us almost 10. What's our luck at? It's not super high, only 20. Should still be able to get most of the value from the extra stomach, which would give us a really nice HP buffer as we sort of head into Endless. Obviously, that weapon, extra stomach sort of loses a little bit of value with Endless mode, but if you're able to get it early enough like we were here, you're able to get a decent amount of use out of it in the normal portions of the game. So look forward to taking all advantage of our little extra stomach. I guess we are a cow. Apparently cows have 4 stomachs or something like that. They have a lot of stomachs. Anyway, we're doing our best cow cosplay as we now have multiple stomachs ourselves. But you can see the community support upgrade shurikens really doing a good job of just slicing and throwing our way through the map here. No blood leech for us. We'll get that attack speed even higher, and I do like that defective steroids, again giving us some melee and HP. We'll keep aggressively upgrading the shurikens. Really am happy for our first hunting trophy. It really will both help us in Endless and help us find some of the other items I am looking for. We are powerful enough where I think we will be able to take this monk elite out without too much of an issue. As we can see there, easy peasy, right? About a 10-second elite kill, which is pretty good because, again, this is not an elite killing build. I do think we are doing so well in the elites because of that giant spell and 100% crit chance. So that is definitely adding to the speed of our kill. In addition, we should be much richer during normal mode, getting that first hunting trophy, which will help until we get the rip and tear, which, you know, will reduce our crits, but I still think be good enough to balance it out. 34 melee damage, which is 8. We do want to definitely get that up a little bit, which we should now be able to do a better job of with the hunting trophy. So again, our mole ninja, you know, is pretty good. They went to the little kiosk, they bought a couple shurikens, maybe a nunchaku, definitely have some black pants on. They're a little baggy, right? But our mole ninja is ready to go. You know, we didn't study the blade, we became the blade. Well, you were out partying, we were studying the blade. That's what we were doing, right? Or something like that. Anyway, much better materials there. Love a potato for free. Sure, take a cake. Really looking for either percent damage or melee damage there. Really do like getting that shuriken upgrade. Take the ugly tooth as well as the spicy sauce. Not really doing the padding thing this run, but I will take that and a tardigrade anyway. Love another community support. We keep getting these shurikens upgraded. Love another shuriken, and we will go ahead and take that fin and toss one more reroll and take that little muscly dude as well. With 1 armor, we do want to start thinking a little bit about armor. So you can see our little mole ninja is really putting it together, feeling pretty powerful here. So I'm quite pleased with how this is going. With all that crit and that hunting trophy, we're certainly putting this together. You can see the I mean, it's like we're taking the enemies out at this point as soon as they spawn. And again, that's just sort of the beauty of the upgrade shuriken. It takes a little bit for it to really come online, but once it does, it can be a pretty powerful weapon, especially when you're doing a crit based build. As you can see, our shurikens recklessly taking out the map with abandon and just painting the map with red shurikens. Our damage is enough. We're able to take most of the enemies out in just 1 or 2 hits, which is allowing us to really keep the map super clear. In addition, solid melee damage plus a little bit of explosive damage means we're actually doing pretty good damage with that spicy sauce. All right, like watch out. We have a spicy sauce indeed, as we are capped on extra stomach. Oh, whopping 119 health, which is quite a lot. Love a hedgehog for free. We're all set on crit for the moment, so I will take a touch of armor as well as a fin and a little muscly dude. Love another tentacle. I don't need any of these. Do see a shuriken upgrade there, which I will in fact take. And there we go. Shurikens on deck. Legendary shurikens engaged. Time to bounce all over the map. That is what I like to see. As we shall be, I think at this point we have essentially conquered normal mode. We will not be challenged, I think, realistically until Endless. Of course, Endless is very challenging, so I do expect that to happen. But Until then, we will keep throwing our shurikens with reckless abandon and thinking about the other important endless mode items, such as the hoodie, as well as the anvil, all items which I am looking for. In the meantime, throwing our shurikens like we do at the range. Are there ranges for shurikens, right? Like, do you practice somewhere? Maybe just throw them in like a tree in your backyard. Where does one practice throwing shurikens IRL? Inquiring minds do in fact want to know, because I don't know where you practice throwing shurikens. You know, I've never thrown a shuriken. Actually, have I thrown a shuriken? I've thrown an axe. That's kind of like a shuriken. Doing a little axe throwing here and there. That's popular these days, apparently, or something like that. Like a tree. Don't need any of these. I guess I'll take the max HP. Not super necessary. Do actually like a warrior's helmet, as our armor is pretty darn low. Shurikens are done. We'll take a repose for the little bit of melee damage. Really do like another hunting trophy. So that is quite good. Like another Gentle Alien, because now we can handle it. We should absolutely dumpster this elite. You can see shurikens, very, very strong, about a 7-second elite kill. And again, this is not an elite killing weapon. So really happy to sort of see that come together. So you can really see the power of this build is unlocked, as we are just shurikening everything with reckless, ruthless abandon. Don't get mad, Armor Ninja, right? Because Armor Ninja is a deadly shuriken wielder now, which is kind of fun, I think. So don't make fun of him. Well, you were out partying, he studied the shuriken, and now look at him. He's blown up entire hordes of aliens with 160 health. That's pretty darn good. So that's their story. In the meantime, we will of course attempt to keep on scaling as we head into the deep, deep depths of endless mode with our lovely shurikens ready to go. Wave 18, wave no problem. Like a Sif's relic, sure. No toxic sludge needed. Speed's at 38, so we'll take some armor. So I am happy with that in the warrior's helmet. That should be enough armor for the immediate future. Do want to think about dodge. Somewhat tempted by the hedgehog. Really like another hunting trophy. Oh lord. Do like another gentle alien and like a beanie. It's just a very efficient item, and we will go ahead and buy that tentacle as well as the glasses just to give us a little bit of range. So we do have our 3 hunting trophies, which puts us in a good spot to have a strong endless mode run, as we should be getting lots of money from this point. So feeling pretty good about where this is headed. We should absolutely dumpster these bosses. That said, I'm still looking for that rip and tear, which we should be able to find a lot easier now with a couple of extra hunting trophies, as we are just going to be swimming in the cash. I don't know about you, but I enjoy swimming in cash. It's not very buoyant, but you know, it's still fun purely from a psychological perspective. So here's the swimming in cash, and may we all continue swimming cash in our lives, because if you're able to swim in cash, you probably have done something right. That Sif's relic is actually pretty darn good on this build, as our shurikens do tend to take out enemies like all over the freaking map. So, you know, we have a hard time like collecting materials. So I am somewhat pleased to see that. As you can see, it is giving us a lot of materials. As materials just flood to us. Sure, we'll take a claw tree. No fertilizer needed. I guess we'll take a touch of dodge so we can start thinking about that. Take the glasses just to allow us to take some other items. Don't need any of these. Don't really need any of these. We'll go ahead and take a wheat as well as a ritual. Do finally get a coupon a little bit later than I would like. Power generator is quite good here, as is a blindfold. Looking around here, 13 armor. I guess we'll take a jetpack. Who doesn't love jetpacks with knives? That seems pretty fun to me. So you can see these elites, or sorry, these bosses, not even elites, aren't posing too much of an issue, as we are taking them out one by one. We're such a powerful tater here. I don't even care which ones I take out, as we take them out both pretty darn easily. So we should be in a really good spot here to have a strong endless mode, especially when we get some things like the hoodie as well as the anvil just to help us out a little bit. But for now, zooming our way through wave 20, no issues. Bosses are down and our shurikens are online, right? That sounds like a good time to me. But we'll keep zooming away here and do our best to absolutely smoke the end of the game. Obviously, we'd love something like a vigilance ring or two. We unfortunately do not have any of those. However, beggars cannot necessarily be choosers. Well, they can be. This may not work out for them in the long run, but we are doing a good job, I would say. No issues there. Very clean wave 20. Do love Lucky Coin. Do like an explosive shells. No lens for us. We will take a touch of armor. Take that regen potion as it is unique. We keep getting force-fed padding, so I will take it. Love another gentle alien. Do like community support as well as a mouse, as we want to flood this map with enemies. Somewhat tempted by a glass cannon, but I will pass on it. Anyway, next lead is on wave 22, so I will see everybody there. All right, no problems there. Sure, I'll take glass cannon for free, as well as a head injury. No barricade for us. Looking for something a little bit more impactful than wheat at this point. Somewhat tempted by a poisonous tonic, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. Keep piling on these mice like we have a mouse infestation. No robot arm for us. Yeah, I'll take an exoskeleton. That's not too shabby. Just giving us armor, speed, all that good stuff. But you can see here, elites presenting no issues whatsoever. Elites down and feeling nice and good about where this is. In a really good spot here to look for our rip and tear, simply because we have had some time to really scale from the hunting trophies. So I do think this is going to be the best of both worlds, as we were not gimp ourselves off the hunting trophies. And rip and tear is not really working well together, because we've had plenty of time to get nice and strong with a lot of items with these awesome 3 hunting trophies. We're in a really good spot there. That wave 22 was very, very clean. Our little mall ninja is now a mall master, or maybe just a regular ninja. Maybe they went to Japan and became an actual ninja. That would not surprise me, given how effective they are with their shurikens. As you can see, lots of bounces, lots of KOs, most importantly, lots of fun. Wave 22 feeling good. No compass for us. No scar needed. Sure, free dangerous bunny. Sure, we will take the snail and we will take the speed. Do not need any of these. Do not need any of these. Do not need any of these, nor these. Really do like a mammoth. Truthfully, the one thing we are actually kind of missing are these really impactful melee items, and also really do like that metal as well, and love another hunting trophy. So that melee damage boost is really going to help. Again, that is the one thing that we felt a little bit behind. 69 melee damage is much more reasonable for this point in the game. I also do love another hunting trophy. Just will allow us to keep scaling, keep piling items. And, you know, the anvil isn't super early or anything, but at least we got one, giving us a very, very valuable 2 armor per wave. So that will definitely help us continue to stay alive. You know, I do think anvil is very, very important. You know, it's not the end all be all item, but, you know, if your offense is good enough, you know, the difference between having an anvil and not, you know, past wave like 28, 29 is the difference between like dying in 1 hit or 4 hits. And if you're able to just survive and heal up a little bit, you know, having enough armor definitely helps. Even though, again, you know, endless certainly scales to a point in the game where it is no longer really valuable. It is pretty darn useful for a good solid portion of the game. So I always feel a little bit better when I have that anvil locked and loaded. So glad to have that. Like a focus for free. Do like an injection as well. No explosive turret for us, nor baby elephant. Sure, we'll take another padding. No shuriken, no fin, no piggy bank for us. Don't really think the tree is going to give us a ton of value. Do finally get the retribution hoodie. So we will very much need to get our ranged up. So I will pass on that gnome just for the moment. Wow, given another hunting trophy. We are really just in hunting trophy central here. So range is a little lower, unfortunately. So I do want to get that up to a more reasonable point, so we don't have to kiss the enemies here. But that huge increase of attack speed, as we are at 46% dodge, you can see just absolutely shellacking those elites there. Really no issues whatsoever. As we dumpster wave 40, feeling nice and good. Melee damage at a much more appreciable 70. So we're a little bit more on top of where that needs to be. You can see us just mowing down those bruisers there with reckless abandon. And actually had a really impressive, I mean, what's our hunting trophy at? Like 5? Yeah, that's pretty darn good. By wave 24, that's really good. For a non-thief dagger build, I'm really, really happy with that. So that means we're going to be getting a lot of money. At this point, I guess maybe I will try to do some padding scaling. That wasn't the original plan, but when you got that many paddings, why the heck not? I can't come up with a good reason why not, and I doubt you could either. So might as well just do it if we can. Wave 24, no more. Right? Wow, look at that. I'm clever. First time I've ever saw that. Sure, free alien tongue. Love a silver bullet. No longer need luck. Should have taken that range, but I rerolled a little quickly there. So woe be on to me. Like another mouse. Don't really need the ritual at this point. I suppose I'll take a defective steroids. Do finally get a vigilance ring, which is quite valuable. I guess I'll take the leather vest. I do want to get that dodge capped ASAP. We'll grab another defective steroids. I'm feeling nice and good. All right, wave 27. Range still feeling a little low. Oh, sorry, wave 25. Anyway, next thing is on wave 27, so I will check in if and when we do something nifty. Wave 26, buying another hunting trophy. Oh, Lord. We coming. And like another mammoth, as well as another vigilante ring. Should have bought that banner, but just clicking a little too quickly. Anyway, we'll see everybody on wave 27. All right, no issues there. And finally, it is time to showcase the Rip and Tear. That's right. With all our melee damage and our explosive damage, 225 explosions. And that, my friends, is going to be a lot. I mean, a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and blow everything up from here on out. How does that sound? To me, it sounds pretty darn good. We'll go ahead and grab that crown as it is a unique item, and we have re-rolled it past it a few times. Do like that tardigrade. Don't need any of these. And again, I will take both the leather vest as well as the spicy sauce since we have such high melee damage. All right, explosions abound. As you will just see the map exploding here. Oh man, look at that. That's what I like to see. Just the explosions instantly taking out enemies all around the map, which makes me nice and happy. And those explosions are hitting quite hard. The cool thing is the shurikens are sort of bouncing around and just blowing things up, which I am very, very happy about. So we will be getting less money from the hunting trophies, but I think it'll be worth it as just we get to sort of watch the explosions bang around the map and help keep things nice and clear. In addition, we're still getting a solid amount of money from our shurikens. So that's just, I think, is going to be fun to experiment with, even though if the optimal play pattern would probably be to skip the Rip and Tear. It is something I do kind of want to tinker around with here. And we do, in fact, have it in addition to a whole host of hunting trophies. So I do think we're in for a fun time to see how far we can go with this kind of wonky shuriken build. Like a leather vest for free. No whetstone needed, and we'll get our range back positive. We'll grab a padding, as well as an explosive shells, as well as a vigilante ring. And I suppose I'll take a riposte and a dynamite. But I think we're in a good spot to sort of see how far we can go. Again, these explosions should be hitting reasonably hard with a couple of explosive shells. So we'll try to catch exactly how much damage they are exploding for, which is a little hard. Looks like a couple hundred there. 2,000, actually. That explosion is hitting for 2,000, which is pretty impressive that I just saw there. Was that 2,000 or did I miss it? I'll try to catch it again. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, the explosion's hitting super, super hard. And we have a couple of explosive shells, as well as a few dynamites, as well as a plastic explosive, which is really helping those hit. So I did just see an explosion there for 20 to 80, which is pretty nifty. So you can see those sort of exploding around, although I'm seeing also some for like 200. So we'll figure that out in due time. But yeah, I'm excited to see how far this one can go. I mean, we're exploding the map everywhere. Really should help our clear, stop us from getting overwhelmed. Obviously, past wave 30, things do get substantially more difficult, so we will do our best to be ready for those challenges. For coffee, love that for free, no scar needed. Don't really need the diploma as well. Really like a mastery as well as a riposte. Go ahead and take that bag and just start polishing them off. Love another silver bullet. I suppose I'll take a glass cannon. We'll go ahead and grab another community support for the road, because why the heck not? But feeling really, really good here on wave 29, which will probably be a good time for me to just thank everybody. I'm very, very thrilled. Thank you everybody so much. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We have been accepted into the YouTube partner program. I am planning on shooting something a little bit special, a little bit of a harder thing to celebrate. So I'm still working on that. I was not able to get it done in time. I do want to get something up. So seriously, thank you everybody. That really meant a lot. We have officially hit 1K and are in the YouTube partner program, which is really important because, you know, the main reason I really want that is it does, you know, there's so many tools that are not available to channels unless they're partnered. You know, just the reality is YouTube restricts a lot of the higher end creator tools to channels that are partnered. We officially hit 1,000 subscribers and did the application, I believe, on Friday, and we were accepted in the partner program on Monday. So it only took 3 days. So I really do appreciate everybody. You know, I asked I was begging for subscribers those last couple videos, and you guys came out in spades. You know, my subscribers like spiked right at the end there, so you all definitely helped me get those last couple subscriptions. Love another rip and tear. Keep those explosions going. So my sincere thank yous to everybody for that. I'll talk a little bit more about some plans as we move forward from here. We'll go ahead and take the charcoal just to grab every bit of melee damage that we can from this point. As we are heading here into wave 30. Look at that, damage is still pretty good. And again, those explosions really doing a solid job of helping keep the map clear. As you can see, outside the elites, there's like no enemies on the map. So these shurikens really, really machine gun shurikens, man. They are happening. Anyway, back on the partner thing. We'll talk a little bit more about the channel plans. Like I said, I'm planning to do a little bit more of a thank you big video. It's just taking me a little longer to get that together. Rest assured, I will be focusing on Brotato content. Brotato content is not going anywhere. I will probably experiment with some other games. I get asked it a lot. Like, are you ever going to play anything besides Brotato? The answer is yes. I do plan to focus on some other similar games, you know, action-oriented roguelites. However, I wanted to focus on Brotato until we got into that partner program, which we did. And we did it in 3.5 months, which is really, really impressive, truthfully, just compared to how gaming channels normally develop. I may do a little bit more talking about how we hit it so quickly. But, of course, thank you, everybody. And again, I do plan on sort of experimenting with a little bit of games, but rest assured, Brotato will continue to remain a focus. And yeah, that's a third rip and tear. Let's do it. Yeah, let's take those explosive shells. No campfire needed. Somewhat tempted by these wings, but again, I'm looking for more high impact items. We keep getting exoskeletons. You know, we have enough crit where I'll take the metal instead. It's kind of like a mini exoskeleton. We'll take the bait for the % damage. Oh wow, another explosive shells. Let's take it for the memes. Right, because let's just make our explosions. There we go. Now I saw an explosion hit for over 1,083 explosion. You can see those explosions going up really, really quickly. Again, those explosions are just so, they work so well with % damage. We're just starting to stack up a lot. Look at that, just blowing up all the pursuers. So that is fun to see. But again, yeah, my sincere thanks to everybody. Really stoked to finally hit that 1,000. Subscribers. You know, general rule of thumb is it usually takes you the same amount of time to go from 0 to 1,000 as it does to go from 1,000 to 10,000. So I'm really motivated to keep doing this and see how it develops. But again, really just thrilled. And again, want to thank everybody for helping me hit that 1,000 subscribers so quickly. Like I said, I do have a little bit of a special, not special, but a little bit of a different Brotato focus, but more of a challenge video I am planning on doing. It's just, it's taking me a little bit sort of bring that one together. So I am working on something where we'll talk about it a little bit more, but did want to touch on that because it is such a big milestone. Do love that melee damage. Do like that explosive shells, because why the heck not? We can find some better than the claw tree, I think. At least that is the hope. Do one more reroll here. Again, I'm not at, we only have like 1 or 2 paddings. We have 4 paddings, so I'm not super motivated to spend my money down. But you can see, doing a great job here, just slicing and dicing enemies apart. So Shuriken's still doing solid damage here. Look at that. And these explosions just blowing up the map. So they are working well together, which does make me happy, as that is sort of the key interaction I was trying to do here. As you see these explosions hitting, I think I saw one hit for 1257. So those explosions are definitely doing very, very good damage here. As one shuriken shot is still enough to take out one enemy, and we were able to do thrice that. Going back to our thrice, right? Thrice again. We're able to do thrice that with our explosion. So that just shows how much damage they are dealing, right? They're doing legitimately triple what our weapon attacks are. So those explosions are a lot of fun to see. And now we have the rip and tears online, blowing up lots of things, chain reaction explosions. That's what I like to see. In addition to rip and tear, since we have multiple of them, that does increase the chances that the explosion will happen, which is a lot of fun. So we're going to solve 423 health. No toolbox for us. Love another silver bullet. Sure, I'll take a scared sausage, and I will actually take a warrior summit. We have plenty of speed, and a little bit of armor won't hurt. We'll keep packing on those silver bullets. I don't really need any of these. Don't need any of these, nor do we need any of these. I'll toss one more reroll. Don't really see anything. I will probably go and include the rest of these runs, because this is where it starts to, or rest of these waves, this is where it starts to get pretty difficult pretty quickly. But we're on wave 33, really with no issues yet. Again, the advantage of all those really powerful explosions, they're doing a good job of stopping us from getting overwhelmed with the projectiles, with the cyclops worms, things like that, which are ordinarily the big things that sort of stop builds like this from working, is that we just sort of get overwhelmed, but those explosions still taking out groups of enemies in one fell explosion. Now, obviously, that will stop happening at some point, right? Like, it's not just going to go that way forever. But for now, it seems to be working. Shuriken's blowing up everything. Wave 33 feeling good. I mean, if we can clear wave 35 with this style of build, I'm pretty impressed with that. So, you know, we just want to keep pumping that melee damage to keep that scaling for as long as we can. But wave 33, don't mess with me. No issues here. Next set of elites or on wave 34, no statue for us. We'll take a free boxing glove. No insanity needed. Sure, I will take a coupon. We really did not get good coupon luck this wave. Don't really need any of these. Again, I'm more looking for melee damage, which I will take even at inefficient sort of values at this point. You know, maybe the Peacock. I don't think we have one, but I will pass on that. I just don't want to ramp up the damage at this point in the game as we are going into elites. So we'll go ahead and see if we can handle these wave 34 elites. Damage still seems pretty good. Again, you know, we don't really hit the elites with the explosions because there has to be enemies near them. But, you know, our still shuriken damage is pretty good. And the explosions do a really good job of keeping the rest of the map clear. So yeah, I mean, all things considered, not too bad for wave 34. Seriously, that's pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. I mean, that was clean. And I think our next elite is on wave 37. And we're stacking up some good money. You know, we have 4 paddings. We're getting some value from that. In the meantime, like, whoa, look at those explosions. Holy smokes. Just blowing up everything. That is what I like to see. Bang, bang, bang. But, you know, 35 is the magic wave, right? Like, 35. 30 is where it starts getting pretty hard. And past wave 35 is when, oh, man, things just... You know, that's when things get a little hairy. Sort of the wave 35 wall, as I occasionally call it. For free, do like a fin. Again, we have plenty of luck. No small magazine needed, nor a bat. Sure, I'll take the duct tape. And again, I'll take another hedgehog. You know, we don't really need an HP regen at this point. We'll absolutely take a mammoth. And that's a ton of money to spend, but I'm happy to do that to keep getting our melee damage nice and high as we are 129, and that will help our explosions continue to scale. Just saw one hit for 1479 there, which is really good. So that does make me quite happy. Anyway, we'll probably skip through the end of this wave just to save some time on the video. So I'll see everybody then. All right, head into wave 37, which I think will be a good check-in wave. Again, we are up to 5 paddings, so I'm being somewhat judicious about spending my money. Somewhat tempted by this magical leaf, so we will think about it. But explosion's still going strong as we are still just deleting giant groups of enemies, which makes me happy. Look at that, exploded. Pursuers are obviously one of the more difficult enemy types for us to handle, but these smaller enemy types, we absolutely still are exploding. So do need to be careful because at this point in the game, the enemies will be getting drastically quick. So we will need our explosions to do their best at keeping the maps clear. As I am taking a, you know, I'm burning through my scant tardigrades there, but you can see just blowing them up. I love me some chain reaction explosions. You can see the little enemies as soon as they spawn just get deleted by the explosions, which is hilarious to see. Bang. Bang. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Boom. 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 Yeah, so we're doing a good job just evaporating groups of weaker enemies. The pursuers are, you know, taking us a little longer, but the smaller enemies just instantly delete, which is kind of fun to see. Sure, landmines, join the party. Why the heck not? We are going into a wave 38 elite. So we'll go ahead and see if we can pull this off. Can our mole ninja do it? Has our mole ninja mastered the ninjutsu? We'll see. You know, I am still concerned about how much damage we will take from the elite, so I am playing this a little safer and letting the bounces do the work. Definitely noticing. Obviously, the game is getting more challenging, and we are not playing alienized potato throwers, so not quite as good, but that's actually not too shabby. Do just want to be careful of not getting sat on by an enemy. That tends to be the normal cause of death at this point in the game. But feeling okay about this, truthfully. I mean, you definitely, the tougher enemy types are certainly slowing us down more than I would like. But, you know, you do what you can do. So not an easy clear, right? Like, we weren't that close to dying, but it was not a demolishing or anything. Sure helmet, sure goat skull, sure head injury. I guess I'll buy a magic leaf. Why the heck not? A little low, I think, for us to get a ton of value out of it, as we are really focused on surviving at this point. So we won't have a ton of waves, I think, to get value out of that magic leaf, but we will take it purely because it was our first one, right? And like, what's an endless mode run without a magic leaf? I don't know. I don't want to know. In the meantime, Explosion's still doing very good work on these smaller enemies. Obviously, the enemies are, at this point in the game, outscaling most of our rip and tear explosions. Smaller foes are still very much perishing to them. But the horn bruisers, pursuers, are definitely not getting instantly blown up anymore, which is a little disappointing. But, you know, that obviously will happen at some point in the game. So we will do our best to survive and see if we can handle wave 40, which I do think will be somewhat challenging for us, but we will, of course, see if we can persevere. And taking a little bit of value from that extra stomach where we can find it. No bat needed for us. At this point, I don't really want to spend down any more money. So anyway, can we do wave 40? This is going to be hard. I'm going to level with everybody. This is going to be wave hard. A hard wave. This wave is going to be hard. Hard wave. Even when I'm not attacking the elites, I do want to do my best to keep those shurikens sailing around the map. Am out of tardigrade, so we are certainly taking damage here. And I don't have amazing regen. We'll kind of try to duck up through here. Elite killing speed is definitely less than I would like at this point in the game. But alright, I think all the elites are down. But surviving these bruisers is not necessarily going to be easy. We are back to mostly full health. But I've definitely gotten this part of the game and just had the bruisers like sit on me. And that definitely will take you out very quickly, as that almost happened there. So I'm just doing my best to stay away from the bruisers. Whew, okay. I mean, we made that, but that was not particularly happy. Those bruisers definitely were crushing us there. We only have 28 life still, so I don't have to lay hands quite good enough. So wave 41, this is gonna be tricky. I'm gonna level with everybody. This is gonna be hard. Wave 40 was definitely a bit of a challenge. We did take multiple hits without dying, which is a good thing, but it does feel like our damage is certainly falling off. Which is to be expected, right, with this type of strategy. With that, like, endless health scaling, you know, things tend to hit a wall pretty hard around wave 40, or wave 35. So the fact we're going as far as we have is actually pretty impressive, I personally think. As it is quite hard to get to 40 if you don't have some sort of odd scaling weapon. Like, if you don't have a weapon specifically designed for endless mode, past wave 40 is challenging. Certainly possible, as in you can get here with other builds, but I wouldn't say shurikens are the best weapon in Brotato. So we do have one elite left. Wow, we really were just surviving there. I mean, still lots of explosions. All right. I mean, the fact we're through wave 41, I think, is pretty impressive. Hey, got a mastery, got another padding. No fuel tank. All right. I mean, we made it. Again, that was not easy. That, you know, our kill speed is definitely going down. It's the you know, that's the advantage of getting that armor, right? Is we're at 75 armor by wave 42, which is pretty good. And that armor is making the difference because we are able to tank a couple of hits. Now that will scale much faster, right, than our armor will protect us. So like, that is obviously, you know, how the game works. So like, this is not going to go forever. As you know, we're going to get to the point where like the monk is going to just sit on us, or a horn bruiser. That could even happen this wave, and will certainly outscale us. But I think part of the reason we have made it this far is getting that anvil early, getting some good armor upgrades, and getting 75% armor at this point means that we can certainly take a few hits, which allows us to kind of squirrel around the map and let the explosions do their thing. But all right, I mean, it looks like, I think we'll clear wave 42. I mean, this is actually very impressive. Explosion shurikens, keeping on. right? Little muscle dude for free. More damage, I will take it. I'll take extra melee damage however I can get it, because that's like kind of how everything sort of scales here. But yeah, I mean, everything's contributing. Plastic explosives, dynamites, explosive shells. Wow, I am certainly noticing these enemies are becoming much... Wow, there's like a ton of enemies there. The enemies are becoming much more tanky very, very quickly. So we may die here. I can just... It just sort of feels like it's coming off the rails a little bit. As I will see if I can sneak around the map, but... definitely am noticing a huge lack of damage as I just am not able to keep the map clear. And those pursuers sort of block any way I'm able to escape, which is a little disappointing. So I expect we will die here. Oh man. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, this will probably be it. I mean, wow. In fact, we made it to wave. All right. Let's think positive thoughts, right? But yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Hey, you know what? If we can take out one elite, I'll be pretty happy here. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I probably won't even take the elites out if we're able to somehow survive. Just trying to stay away from the horn bruisers. Treat this like an overwhelming horde wave. I am seeing some big explosions go off. All right, we almost made it. We probably could have gotten there. By that point, I was just running for my life. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I mean, wave 44 with shurikens. That's pretty darn good. That's a lot better than I thought. And this was a strong seed. I mean, this really was. Picked up a couple of paddings, had some really good hunting trophies. You can see 38,000 materials. You got a whopping 42 armor from this anvil, which is part of the reason I actually think we made this so far. And we almost made it to wave 45. Truthfully, rip and tear, or sorry, explosive shells really contributing. And look at that. How much damage from rip and tears? That is 14 million, which is extraordinarily good. Anyway, this run was a lot of fun. So appreciate you watching. As always, thank you. And again, thank you for helping me hit that 1,000 subscribers. It means a whole lot. It makes me really excited about the future. And as always, take care.